Here is how I approach the markets every single week to know exactly where it is headed next. So stick around for the rest of this video so you can learn step by step on how I do my top down analysis every single week, and I'm able to predict where the market is about to go simply by reading the chart, right? So let's go ahead and dive into the video. So we can see here we are trading gold. So let me go ahead and clear some of this stuff off and they start fresh, right? So we can see here on the monthly time frame, this is gold. Like I said, pretty much what I'm paying attention to is every line that I'm drawing is telling me a story. So I can see here that on the monthly time frame, we can have these last 3 months with some exhaustion candles. So I'm paying attention in close detail to that because that's letting me know price is rejecting this area around the 2400 area. So we can see that also the story is that we broke above this level of resistance and we haven't came back to retest. So that's in the back of my mind. What I'm looking for on gold is for price to pull back to these previous highs that got broken and potentially give us a continuation. But this is the monthly time frame, so I'm not really looking for that to happen, really soon. It's going to take a few months, maybe even a year, for that whole move to occur, right? But as I drop down to my weekly time frame, I'm pretty much just getting closer to price and getting data from every single time frame to let me know, okay, what's happening on every single time frame so I can put all of the pieces together. So we can see here on this weekly time frame, we kind of have like this uptrend structure as well. And if I put my annotations on, you can still see I have like a fib structure, but I also had this trend line. But for clear purposes, I'm going to clear that off. So we can see here also on the weekly time frame that we had a lot of bearish momentum here. So we had a huge bearish candle that engulfed this previous bullish candle. And then last week we ended with a lot of rejection, rejecting this 2300 ish area. So one thing I'm paying attention to though also is that this is a level of consolidation. So this whole box right here is price pretty much consolidating in between this little square area right here, right? Now, as I drop down to the daily time frame, we can see the consolidation a little bit more clear, but we can also see a little bit more details of what's actually happening. So we can see on the daily time frame, we've been having these pushes, these bearish pushes, these huge pushes down. So we got one push down, we got another push down, and then to end on Friday, we had another bearish push down. So this is another detail that I'm paying attention to because we can see here on this daily time frame we had this huge engulfing candle. So that lets me know that, okay, there's a high probability chance that price can continue to push lower simply because we had a lot of bearish pressure to end the week. Now, one thing I'm paying attention to as well, like I said, we haven't broke out of this consolidation. So this is the low right here at 2282. This is the low of this consolidation. So that is initially my first target that I'll be looking for because we are simply bouncing in between this consolidation. So I need to see price break out to either direction before I have a clear direction. Clear bias on which way the market is about to actually go. So here I'm going to turn on my annotations. We can see here that on this daily time frame also as well is that we are sitting on this trend line. So I marked this trend line from this point A to point B, point C, point D, so forth and so on, and drag it into the future. And then I also had this fib structure, so I can delete it just to show you guys and then redraw it. So I had this fib from this point A down to this point B here. And then my overall target is that -27. So as you can see here, this lines up with exactly this low of this consolidation. So every line that I'm drawing, I'm telling a story. So the story here is every time price touched this trend line, it bounced here, bounced here, bounced here, and bounced potentially here. So I need to pay attention to that one at the beginning of the week because I need to see if price is going to bounce off this area or is it going to break beneath this overall trend line. Now on my weekly and my monthly time frames, I really didn't have a lot of data, only had this high that I marked off. And then I also had this weekly fib that also hit this -61.8 TV, but that structure already had finished. So now I'm not really paying attention to that area. So as I drop down to my 4-hour time frame, I'm getting closer to price. So on my 4-hour time frame, we can see that we also have this trend line, and then I also have this black trend line as well, indicating that price is in an overall downtrend on my 4-hour structure. And that is also why I have this point A to point B for my fib, because we are forming lower lows and lower high points all throughout this area, maintaining this overall downtrend structure. So based off of the structure that we are currently in, I can still look for price to continue to form lower lows and lower highs simply because we are in this downtrend structure on my 4-hour time frame. Now, as I drop down to my 1 hour, this is where I get a little bit more of my details. So we can see last week we had this huge impulse push that took out all of these low points here. So all of these higher low points on this 1 hour structure got broken. So that lets me know there is a possibility chance that price can continue to go bearish. But the only thing is that we had this impulse. We know what the market moves in 3 phases: impulse, correction, continuation. So what I'm looking for to begin the week is I'm looking for a correction to start the week and then possibly get a continuation. But as you guys know, if you watch my videos, I like to take the market step by step. What I won't do is give you guys something like this and say, oh, well, the market is going to do exactly this, this move right here, and then just drop to hell and just think that's going to happen. Like, I have to take it step by step. So where I can see price going right now to start the week is, since we are at this little trend line break and retest, so this little uptrend structure break came back to retest, we're sitting on this trend line. We're also sitting on this 4-hour trend line. I want to see price pull back potentially to this black trend line, which is also kind of like this level of minor resistance here. So I want to see how price is going to react in that area. And oops, let's change this to purple. Boom. And so I'm going to watch price here. And this is going to be an area of interest that I'm looking for inside of the market to potentially look for selling opportunities, or if it gives me buying opportunities above this area, which will look like such: impulse, correction, continuation, then I could potentially look to buy it up to this area. So that's what I'm overall paying attention to this week. But I want to explain it step by step so you guys can understand like my thought process behind why I'm looking for the moves that I'm overall looking for. Like last week, I put these in my free Telegram chat when I was looking for these buys, simply because last week we had this the week before last week we had this impulse push, and then I was telling you guys that we needed a pull back to the zone and to watch price here. We could see we caught these buys here, and then we caught these sells down here as well, and then price began to just continue to buy after we had this breaker structure, impulse, correction, and then caught this overall continuation as well leading up to the sales yesterday. If you were one of my students, you know that this is a ascending channel. We had ascending channel, and then we also had divergence as well. So divergence is when the market is doing one thing and the RSI is doing the opposite. So this case, the market was going up, the RSI was going down. That was an indication that this was about to drop. So like I said, now where we are, we just had this impulse push. We're sitting at this trend line, both of these trend lines. Now I'm going to be looking for a correction. However, since this was so bearish, the market could potentially still push down and form new lower lows and come to this zone first before pulling back. So that's something that we have to be mindful of. But like I said, we're taking it step by step. So the note that I have here, and this is the note that I pretty much put inside my free Telegram chat: sitting on this 4-hour trend line after a strong bearish impulse to end the week. We'll be looking for price to correct, pull back before looking for more sales. We'll watch price at a 1-hour trend line to see what price does from there. So that's pretty much what I'm looking at. And then from a minor structure standpoint, if I go down to my 30-minute, you can see I have this baby fib impulse, and then be looking for price to pull back to at least this 38.2, and then we could target this negative 27, which is also in alignment with this gray zone right here. So it's important to take it step by step. Sometimes, and like even in this case, it's not going to be the most clear, concise bias, because like right now we're sitting at a critical area, so we might need a little bit more data before we can thoroughly say what is exactly about to happen. But I do believe in this pullback, at least to this purple zone to start the week. Then as the week goes on, we'd be looking for a little bit more data to confirm that if we are going down to this negative 27 based off of this 4-hour fib, or if we're going to push up for buys. Because remember, on our daily time frame, we're still technically in this uptrend, and we're still sitting in this overall consolidation. This was the impulse. This is a correction. This correction hasn't really broken out its consolidation yet. So there still is a chance that price could buy. But like I said, the bearish pressure that we've been having, and plus on the higher time frames, we haven't pulled back to this area. I could see gold pushing down just a little bit further. But like I said, we have to have the confirmations behind it. We do not guess inside the market. We let the market come to us, right? So that's what I'm going to be looking for this week. And then also one thing else I want to talk about as well is that now that a lot of guys ask what broker I use, so forth and so on. We have Hanko Trade. They just released their new Hanko X platform. I'm super excited about this platform because if you watch one of my last videos, I talked about like how the web browser platform was, but one thing that it was kind of lacking was it was lacking the candlesticks. Like the candlesticks would lag behind, or there would be a gap in price. But now that we have the Hanko X platform, this looks a lot better. It allows you to go to light mode or dark mode depending on which one you prefer. You come over here, hit preferences. You could choose day or night theme. I prefer the day theme, but it's to each his own. We have our 1 hour daily, all our time frames. So everything that you do that you mark up on TradingView, you can now mark up on Hanko, and it's a lot smoother. You can see just from the interface, from me scrolling in and out, it looks a lot smoother. See here that we could draw like our trend lines here. It's a lot smoother. So I'm excited about this platform. I'll be checking it out this week. And then, like I said, if you are one of my students of mine, we'll be going over pretty much our live trades this week, especially with my mentorship students, a part of my 60-day accelerator program. So if you are interested in that, the link is in the description. But of course, like I said, this Hanko Trade platform is something exciting to look out for this week. So that's one of the things also that they offer. And then another thing that they offer as well is that, like I said, the candlesticks are being updated live now, so real-time data. And then, like I said, they improved this whole interface. It looks a lot better. This looks a lot smoother than what it usually used to look like. And then also the mobile browser looks a lot better as well. So be on the lookout for that if you want to use Hanko. And then also people have been asking me about the Ventura. A lot of people have been commenting on my video about the 95 to 6K video. So if you want to use Ventura and take advantage of that broker, because they did have 1 to 1,000 leverage, it is still available on MT4, so you could definitely take advantage of that. And like I said, you can use it on the desktop, but you won't be able to use it on MT4 mobile. So Ventura is still available. So if you found that video in if you found that previous video that I did and you want to use that broker, that link will be in the description as well that you could take advantage of. So I hope this video was super helpful for you guys, and I will see you all in the next video.